Good morning, Miss. This is our content. Before I start present, let me introduce myself first. I am Chan Ziling. They are my group members, which are Chin Xue Ying, Crystal Go Hong Ying, and Ling Jiapu. First, I need to present about introduction. ISEC Healthcare offer a comprehensive range of specialist medical eye care service through ambulatory surgical center in Malaysia, Singapore, and Myanmar, all of which are outfitted with cutting-edge technology and facility. Besides that, ISEC Healthcare vision is to provide high-quality, compassionate, world-class eye care to the local and regional community at an affordable price. Asian Healthcare Specialists Limited is a medical service provider special injection therapy, cervical disc replacement, trauma care, and sport medical are all services provided by the company. Asian Healthcare Specialists provide care to patients in Singapore. Besides that, Asian Healthcare Specialist is a catalyst medical service group that provide a diverse range of specialist healthcare service including dermatology, family medical, and so on. Next, I will pass it to Xue Ying.
I am Qin Ying. Now I am going to talk about pastel analysis. Pastel analysis is a strategy management technique to help companies to make smart choice. Pastel refers to the political, social, economic, technical, environmental, and legal elements that influence the company activity in the microenvironment. Firstly, the political element is fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. It put individuals at the center of the pandemic, supporting the development of technical solutions. With the introduction of new regulation, the group is prepared for change and will continue to diversify investment in local and worldwide healthcare to improve operation efficiency. Secondly, the economic element is profit increase is mostly attributed to revenue growth, which is primarily due to the integration of Cornerstone Asia Health Platforms. Third, corporate social responsibility is a social issue. That is because it is to continue encourage our workers to participate for community events in fiscal 2020. Fourth, significant advancement in digital technology are a technological aspect in future Asia healthcare. Using this year's coronavirus outbreak as an example, artificial intelligence and smart gadgets that efficiently detect and anticipate the epidemic progress in real time have been the center of attention. Biomedical waste is an environmental element. That is because biomedical waste endangers the worldwide environment health. Lastly, strong ethics is a legal aspect. This operation extends beyond our medical practice to include fair pricing, bill transparency, and regulation compared for practice data protection. Firstly, the political element influencing ISEC healthcare is that policy are changes as a result of the new government election. According to the present trend, Singapore may face a region transition in the next election. Secondly, Singapore economic success has an impact on ISIE healthcare. I anticipate that Singapore economic performance will stay stable over the next 5 to 10 years as a result of consistent demand brought about by government expenditure, disposable income, and growing investment in new industry. Besides that, immigration is a social issue. Singapore has a typically unfavorable view toward immigration. This may limit ISEC healthcare capacity to help multinational managers to run operations in the country. In addition, technological maturity is a technological aspect influence ISEC healthcare. Healthcare facility technology is not yet established, and most companies are looking for fresh technological to help them achieve a large share in Singapore. Moreover, extreme weather is an environmental element in full ISEC healthcare. Extreme weather has also raised ISEC healthcare operating expenses, since the firm must invest in improving its supply chain flexibility. Lastly, the data protection legislation is a legal aspect. In the last decade, data protection has become not only a critical component of private concerns, but also a critical component of intellectual property channels. ISEC healthcare must exist if Singapore have an effective data leaking prevention strategy in place. Now I will pass to Lin Jae-poon.
Coding with calculate liquidity ratios, the current ratios of ISEC Healthcare and Asian Healthcare in 2019 and 2020 are 4.15 and 3.22 and 11.35 and 2.62 respectively, representing a 22% and 77% reduction. ISEC Healthcare and Asian Healthcare have debt ratios are more stable and have the potential for long-term success, as companies with lower ratios have less total debt. ISEC Healthcare's debt to equity ratios in 2019 and 2020 were 0.17 and 0.23 respectively, while Asian Healthcare debt to equity ratios were 0.27 and 0.23, both less than 1. Both companies have lower debt to equity ratios, implying that lenders are used to issue less debt. Days sales of receivable turnover from ISEC Healthcare in 2019 and 2020 are 26.26 and 30.89 compared to Asian Healthcare, which is 64.6 and 69.34. That means ISEC Healthcare has a conservative credit policy, such as net 20 days or even net 10 days. So ISEC Healthcare is better than Asian Healthcare. Therefore, ISEC Healthcare inventory turnover ratios in 2019 and 2020 were 18.89 and 15.21 respectively, whereas Asian Healthcare inventory turnover ratio was 0 in both years. A higher ratio number is better as it shows robust sales. This means ISEC Healthcare will be able to sell the product more effectively. ISEC Healthcare total asset turnover ratio in 2019 and 2020 was 0.57 and 0.41 respectively, higher than Asian Healthcare 0.41 and 0.29. The higher a firm asset turnover, the more effective its revenue generation for resources is. In terms of profitability, ISEC Healthcare gross margin in 2019 and 2020 were 0.47 and 0.44 respectively, representing a 5% reduction, while Asian Healthcare were both representing 0%. The greater the percentage gross margin, the better. ISEC Healthcare net profit margin in 2019 and 2020 were 0.17 and 0.12 respectively, while Asian Healthcare were 0.23 and 0.24 respectively. Therefore, Asian Healthcare will better than ISEC Healthcare. In common size percentage comparison, ISEC Healthcare had the greatest gross margin ratios of 100% of 2-year sales in 2019 and 2020, whereas Asian Healthcare had gross margin of 47% and 44% respectively. In 2019 and 2020, Asian Healthcare had the highest percentage of earning, accounting for 23% and 24% of sales, respectively, while ISEC Healthcare had 17% and 12% respectively. The company attributes its success to an increase in patient visit to its specialized eye care center in Malaysia and Singapore, which result in higher revenue. Next, I will pass to Crystal.
The company that are recommendation of investment are ISEG Healthcare Limited. In the financial analysis performance aspect, ISEG Healthcare are going that the trade payable is higher than the trade receivable. It means ISEG Healthcare able to own the prior money a bit long time, and maybe the company representation and representative right and cash flow are relatively large. Second, better as owing again. ISEG are owing a large amount of assets such as property, plant and equipment, intangible assets and so on. Third, reconsideration full by only about 9% in 2019 to 2020. The cost of skill and revenue only fell by 4%, which means ISEG are maintained at the average percentage than the Asian Healthcare. Last, cash flow decrease is mostly positive. ISEG Healthcare Limited cash flow are going positive more than the Asian Healthcare Limited, which means the ISEG company operating activity are better than Asian Healthcare. In the non-financial factor, industry development space, ISEG industry development space are better than the Asian Healthcare because ISEG are the large eye care agency. Second, medical institution is very large. ISEG Healthcare Limited are provide a lot of the eye service and product to their customer. Third, competitiveness of the company. Competitiveness of the company are important in future because this means this company able to earn money in future or not. ISEG are going the good competitiveness with the Asian Healthcare because ISEG are following the trade and then provide a lot of the time of the eye surgery like the laser and so on. Last, maintain high growth in future. Based on the report they are going, ISK have a bad future in the medical life because now all people are everyday playing the phone. It will make the eyes problem easily. So ISEG the growing space in future are very large. Next.
Financial analysis accepts farm health and wellness as well as offering insight into how the organization functions. However, it is crucial to understanding that financial statement analysis has limits different from employ various accounting systems which vary the degree of wealth, health and earning for the better or for the worse. Different analysis will direct different conclusions from the same data. As a result, we should conclude the financial statement analysis is merely one of several instruments for making investment decisions. Next, this is our reference list. Thank you for watching our presentation.